and how this was really geared towards the younger demographic. And it was exciting because I didn't want to work with old people. I wanted to work with people that, one, were needed it, but number two, didn't have priorities. Didn't have kids, didn't have, to go out and work a regular job and then do this part-time. I wanted someone that would take this seriously so I could change their mindset right away from that employee mindset to an entrepreneur. The problem is with most people, if you're new tonight, is that most people conform, dude. 3% of the country controls 97% of all the money. And the problem is that most people do what everybody else does. Well, guess what, dude? If you do what everybody else does, you're going to get the same result. You got to step away from what everybody else is doing to get a different result. And that's what I kind of saw. So if you're new tonight, look who's ever been mentoring you your entire life. And if they're not driving the car you want to drive, if they're not living in the house you want to live in. But most importantly, dude, if they're not living the life you want to live, like if they're not living the life you want to lead, then you probably shouldn't take advice from them. Because if you do what people do and you say what people say, well, guess what? You're going to get the same result every single time. It's like the laws of physics. You jump off a building, you're always going to hit the ground. You're never going to go up. So it made sense to me if I took advice from someone that was where I wanted to be, I'd get the same result. So that's where I, met Patrick Comer, I met, Brad Alcazin, and I just, started studying them, dude. And I put it into action. A lot of people leave here at 9, they're excited. They never go out there and actually make it happen. You get to go out there and put this, obviously it's not a get rich quick. But anyways, real quick about the company and really logically why this is working. VIMA, acronym, Vitamins, Essential Minerals, Mangosteen, and Aloe. Located in Scottsdale, Arizona. Been around for about 8 years. Started about, with this VIMA liquid multivitamin that, was built by mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa for 7 years. To about $100 million in sales. So, any company doing $100 million in sales is obviously legitimate. Secondly, we're the official drink of the Phoenix Suns. Charlotte Bobcats is a huge bird blonde within the Phoenix Suns arena. Need I say more? Probably. Dr. Oz actually had VIMA on his show. On his show. And also, Men's Daily Journal rated the #1 liquid multivitamin for men under 60. So you health fanatics, Dr. Oz, Men's Daily Journal. Dude, I've had people come up to me, parents saying this changed my life, dude. My doctor came back with my blood work, said I have extra 5 years to spend with my family. Money cannot buy that. So I can talk all day about the product, but for most people our age, they're like, how do I make money? So how this entire YPR started, they took that 2-ounce liquid multivitamin and poured it into an energy drink. Something that really applies to our demographic. Most ladies that I know are drinking Starbucks every single day, if not 4 times a day. Most guys that I know drink Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, Fiber Energy, protein shakes all the time, so it's just a transfer of dollars. And instead of going the traditional route in advertising, like paying professional athletes, paying for commercials, paying for billboards, they decided to invest the money into us through word-of-mouth advertising. Now let's think about this for a second. One man, one idea basically revolutionized the way that we talk to each other. That was Mark Zuckerberg. Did you ever see an ad for Facebook? Did you ever see a commercial for Facebook? No. No. Think about what you're doing from the products you're using to the clothes you're wearing to the movies you see. What are you doing? You're texting your friends about it. You're telling your friends about, yo, check out Django. It's a sick-ass movie. He goes and sees the movie. You drive out that company's revenue, but you don't get paid for it. So when Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, Bill Gates say that this is the business 21st century, they probably mean it, because they basically run this place. They run the world. You look at where business is transforming, and you either got to go with it or you're going to get left behind. Social network marketing is actually the second highest paid profession in the world into professional athletics. So dude, if you're not, the next Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant, or Michael Jordan, where's the average person go to make that type of money? It's kind of falling into your lap. And if that doesn't get you excited, dude, you should probably check your pulse. Because, for most people that I know, they want to be wealthy. If that's not for you, then no hard feelings, dude. But at the same time, I see where this company is going. You see Herbalife, $6 billion a year, pill capsule vitamins, Avon lotion products, $10 billion, Amway, $11.3 billion. They own the land of magic, but they've never seen the likes of young people. So they've never seen the likes of the most socially connected demographic that ever walked the face of the earth. So logically speaking, why this is happening, because we have tools that our parents were never able to use through Facebook, through our cell phones. Logically speaking, why this is happening, it's kind of the perfect storm of opportunity with the economy being struck in the way that it is. Okay? And in this world, most people have a misconception of education and being well-learned. Most people that I know are well-learned. Adam's next-door neighbor got 2,400 on the SAT, graduated from an Ivy League school, has been back at home living with mom and dad for the past 8 months. Dude, look at a lot of your friends that right now that are graduating, moving back home with mom and dad. If they're not living with mom and dad, they're still living off of mom and dad, living somewhere else. Well, understand that you need to do something different or you're going to get the same result as them. Think about that for a second. I sat down with a guy named Bob Proctor, real quick before I go into all this. I sat down with a guy named Bob Proctor. Never, he's a well-educated man, but he never had a formal education, dude. Okay, he never went to high school, never went to college. The guy gets paid $50,000 an hour to talk to people. I had sat down with him at breakfast. He just came over to our table and was like talking to us. It was sick as fuck. But he went on to tell me that it's a big misconception, because success is not something you pursue. Success is something that you attract by becoming an attractive person. You know, education is the key. But people have that misconception, the difference between being well-learned and education. Okay, education comes from the Latin root word educo, which means to derive from within. And each of you guys in here would agree that the best form of education comes from experience, like going out there and making shit happen.
Yep.
So what I'm saying about this entire thing tonight, wipe away the money, it's not about just the asset that you build, it's about the relationships you develop. Because in this world, it's not really about what you know, it's about who you know. Think about the corporate world, dude. You think you're going to get that job over the boss's CEO or, CEO's son or daughter? No, dude. CEO's family is going to get that every single time. So it's about who you know, and not only that, it's about the person that you become through it. Leadership skills, learning how to manage your time, learning how to become a better person, learning how to, public speak. Dude, public speaking is huge if you want to make a lot of money. So how it works, there's 2 ways to get involved. Actually 3 ways. There's a gold pack, which is $1,000. I don't really recommend that for most people. It's basically product discounted, unless you're like a club promoter or you own your own small business. A second way of getting involved, which most people start out with, is a silver pack. $500, basically verb discounted. Comes with 5 cases of verb and 2 cases of energy shots. And then the other way is a 2-pack, which is $150. Comes with 2 cases of verb, 24 cans in a case. Okay. So there's actually several different ways to get paid. 2 main forms of income are 1 being immediate and number 2 being residual. Residual income, you get paid to eat, sleep, and fuck. It's a cool concept. Okay, it's what successful people have when they build an asset. They get paid 24/7. But anyways, you're not like selling these cans or anything. If you guys thought about that tonight, when you buy products, you guys get your own website. You get your own iPhone app. So the business aspect is free. Okay, so basically you're buying a business for $500, dude. What's the worst thing that happens? You have a year's supply of energy drinks, of chaser. So anyways, if you bring someone to the meeting, if they buy a 2-pack, you make $20. If they buy a silver pack, you make $100. If they buy a gold pack, you make $200. The reason why most people start out with a silver or gold pack is because if you sign up 3 people within a 1-week span, you make an extra $400. So 400 plus 300 is 700. It doesn't have to be in your first week. You can do that any single week in VMA. I had a guy that came into my business, made over $4,000 his first month at 19 years old.
Wow.
Is it doable? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Is that probably going to happen? No. But at the same time, it can happen. Maybe you do that once or twice. You get 6 people involved. The residual income comes like this, off of your friends making money. If you're not making money off your friends, the only way that you can make money is if your friends make money. So that's where the residual income comes into play. You build 2 legs, or 2 teams, a left and a right. Once you get to about 10 people in your business total, say if you enroll 3 on 3, they turn into 5 each, so 10 people total, you're making about $200 a month, plus that immediate income. When you get to 50 people on each, or 25 people on each side, 50 people total, you're making about $1,500 a month. And when you get to 50 people on each side, 100 people total, you're making about $2,000 a month plus the company pays for your car. And right now, in my 14 months of doing this, I have helped over 12 people earn multiple 6-figure incomes. I've helped over 50 people get into company and pay cars. I've enrolled about 25 people, 15 people stuck with it. Obviously this isn't some fantasy or fairy tale, but it's not a big deal, dude, because people quit on everything in life. People quit on sports, people quit on school, people quit on music, people quit on Greek life. Me and Patrick know that for a fact, dude. We start out with like 55 pledges and there's down to 20 by the end of the semester. So not a big deal. 25 out of 15 people stuck with it. That has turned into over 5,600 active orders of Vima, Verb, or Body, our major lines or products going through my business monthly. And anyways, next week or the week after, I'll hit a rank in the company Star Ambassador, which by title is $500,000 a year. And yeah, dude, at 21 years old, my weekly paychecks have been anywhere from like 7 to 10 days a week. So, I hope you don't get the wrong impression. I don't say that as a brag or boast or with a sense of entitlement, but really with a sense of gratitude, because obviously what it's done for me, what it's done for my friends, and what it's done for my family, and then more so what it could do for the newest person out there. And we're not going to ask you to go out there and make a G a week or a 6-figure income, dude, because we can't ask that up from everybody. Not everybody can do that. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, what would an extra $500 a month do for you part-time? What would an extra $1,000 a month do for you part-time? Maybe some of you guys, and I know some of you guys actually will, make this a priority, and by the time summer's over, you're driving company paid cars, and you don't need a job next year. Maybe you're able to pay for some rent. Maybe you're able to pay for actually some things, dude. Because most people can't pay for fucking gas. Most people can't pay for food. Most people can't pay for tuition. Most people can't pay for rent. They rely on their parents to pay for everything at our age. So that's just the way that we've always been taught. That's the way that we've been learned, dude. But you look at our system right now, and it's obviously flawed. Something needs to change, and I think this is what we're doing. So why we're excited, dude, business and life, in closing, is timing, dude. Timing is key. And Imagine buying stocks in Apple in 1997, dude. Each one of us would pour our life savings into it, or even Google, you know? That's exactly what this is. We're at 117 million. The YPR just got started. It's done like maybe 17 million in sales. So it was built by mom, dad, grandma, and grandpa for people that are older to 100 million worldwide. We're open to 60 countries, okay? Since the YPR started, we've added another 17 million. Within the next, 5 to 10 years, dude, this is going to be a billion-dollar company. You got to ask yourself how big of a piece of the pie do you want. So tonight, if you're new, you didn't get brought here to get sold anything. You got here to, build a business, dude. To be taught something that you'll never get taught anywhere else. And I think that's the entire thing here. So get with the person that brought you here. Get started. Once you get started, make a list. Go out there and start writing down names. Do people that you want to get involved, 25 to 50. And get with the person that brought you here, step number 3, and we'll help you invite. We'll help show you how to invite someone until you're comfortable speaking, and we'll do the talking for you. And that's where the credibility comes in, because we have a weekly paycheck. Don't go out there and try to explain this to anybody, because, learn from our mistakes, dude. When I first got started, we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were saying. We were fucking excited, we were fired up, running around with, like, monkeys with our heads chopped off, but, it's kind of like learning calculus for your first time trying to explain it to someone. Let us kind of do that work for you until you're comfortable speaking. But yeah, dude, within the next, 3 to 5 months, dude, look at San Diego to LA, there's over 500,000 college students. If you have 1,200 in your group, you're making a 6-figure income. If you have 12,000 in your group, you're making $1 million a year.
Wow.
And there's over 50 million college students in the world, and every year there's, 20 million more coming in. So, look at big picture, keep your eye on the prize, and let's go to work. This is just the beginning.